So this is just a quick one to debunk one of our most favorite theories, right, or sayings, and that concerns the saying of experience. We usually say experience is the best teacher, don't we? But that's not necessarily the case. Now, why is that? So, what is experience in the first place? Let's start by understanding that experience is something that either through knowledge or understanding, or not necessarily understanding, more like knowledge, being exposed to a particular thing over a period of time, whether it's a heartbreak, loss, financial loss, loss of a loved one, uh, or even being exposed to a geography, right, of a new place that you hadn't been to before. The things that you experience, the things that you're exposed to over a period of time, gives you experience or in that thing, of that person, of that situation, of that context, or that circumstance, whatever it is. But when we say experience is the best teacher, we need to understand the implicit truth in that statement, which is not necessarily what comes to the fore when we say that. So, for instance, when I say that experience is a function of the linear movement of time, it means that the older you get, the more exposed you are to something, the more experience you have. But have you known people who are 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, 60, 70, who have experience, right, in certain things, but still have not moved forward in their lives? Yeah. Even you, right? Have you been exposed to something that has given you supposed experience in the thing, but you really haven't gotten mileage from it? Yeah. So what's the issue here? The issue is not the event, right? Because it's an event that actually gives you the experience. The issue is that we haven't understood the value in the event, because an event is not valuable to you, or an experience is not valuable to you until you learn how to distill the value from the experience. And what does that mean? It means that whenever something happens to you, right, that's the event, right? That is something that's given rise to an experience. But it only becomes valuable to you when you understand the lesson or the lessons that are inherent in that experience. And you can only understand the lesson or the lessons that are inherent in that experience when you reflect, when you take time to evaluate, to assess not just what has happened, but what has happened is trying to teach you. Because everything that comes our way is actually a lesson, but we won't grasp the lesson if we don't take time to evaluate the lesson inherent in that circumstance or in that event or in that experience. You feel me? So when something happens to you, good or ill, pro or con, take time to reflect. This thing that has happened, that has given rise to XYZ result, what am I supposed to learn from it? Am I supposed to learn how to be kinder to somebody else? Am I supposed to learn how to get more along with people? Am I supposed to learn how to guard my finances properly? Am I supposed to understand how to be more circumspect when I'm speaking? There's always a lesson in an experience, but you won't get the lesson, you won't get the value from the experience until you reflect. So get this, reflection turns experience into insight. That is when you become a more valuable person, a wiser person, when you're insightful. But you won't become insightful unless you reflect on the thing or the things that have happened to you. Reflection turns experience into insight.